Men who like to keep their morning routines simple will love these Multi for Him gummies, specially formulated with 12 key nutrients designed to support men's daily nutritional needs. Nature Made Multi for Him gummies help support muscle and bone health. It improves your immune health and it increases your energy metabolism. With the quality you can trust, Nature Made Multi for Him gummies have no artificial flavors, no synthetic dyes, no high fructose corn syrup, no artificial sweeteners, and is gluten-free. Pharmacists around the world have recommended Nature Made to be the #1 vitamin and supplement brand. So when you need something that's going to help you get you through the day, when you need something that's going to increase your energy to help you get you through that workout, to make you perform as an elite athlete at the top of your ability, try Nature Made Multi for Him gummies, because you don't want to stop.
To the 12th round.
Hey yo, welcome to the Terror Dome. You should be heading home, cause you could bring all of your ninjas and the Technodrome. I rip right through your flesh and bone and mental capacity. Flood your mind with atrocities and copious tragedies. This dark Sabbath is a lesson in street. The whole church of the ghetto feel the words when I preach. Amen. Let the Lord say a prayer for they don't end up in front of someone banging their trigger. Living life like a war pig. Fuck the law, I'm getting mine. Let the others figure what the cost is. Purchasing the fortress on gorgeous acres enormous. Car park full of foreigners and women just waiting on us. We living the dream. Y'all living like hell is earthbound. We are not the same. You've been a lame since birth, pal. I don't feel sorry. I recommend they go dirt bound. Doggy dog world and you've been looking like Chuck Brown.
I'm still jamming out to the music. I don't know what you're doing.
Yo, what up? What's up? What's going on, people? This is your boy, Roosevelt, the man who likes to fight. And today I'm solo, I'm dolo, because the crew got other things going on. As you know, we're preparing for Mall Mania in Las Vegas, man. It's going to be a big show. I'm sure Chef is somewhere cooking up something. So is Marcus Cofield. He's cooking up something. LP is preparing for some Molly and some fashion. Brian is getting all the business stuff handled. And today I have an amazing guest with me today. Listen, this man don't even need your votes to be who he is, okay? He don't need his name on no ballots, no nothing. He is the president of professional wrestling. My man, 100 grand. Listen, I ain't got to pay taxes because of this man. Phil Stamper, what's going on, boss man? Thank you for coming being on the show, and welcome to the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast.
Absolutely, thank you for having me. It's great being here. How are you? I feel like we just haven't really said hi to each other in a long time.
A very, very long time, man. I'm tired. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I'm tired between working the regular job, working the second job, working the tutoring job, working the personal training job, working the boxing training job, doing the MMA stuff, doing my own work, wrestling and training, and then booking Mall Mania. I'm tired, boss.
That's fair.
I'm tired. I don't want to do this anymore, Grandpa.
I don't know about the grandpa part, but there are days. I definitely understand. My 3-hour commute into my office this morning was one of those days.
Oh man, 3 hours? No, I couldn't do it. I couldn't. I'd be like, listen, I'm working from home today. Y'all see me next week.
Well, by that point, you're already there. Do you want to go 3 hours?
Absolutely. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started, man, because this show is all about you today. It's all about learning about you, your life, your career. So let's start with the very first question we ask every guest that comes on the show. Phil Stamper, when did you fall in love with professional wrestling?
I was, I can't remember if I was 11 or 12. And it's so weird because a few years before, I on a Saturday morning, I'm watching wrestling with my little brothers, and I was like, I don't like this. And then was 11 or 12, and I had a neighbor, and he was really into it, and for some reason, it just hooked me. I was all in on it. I remember like I would come home, and at that time on ESPN Classic, they would have like old episodes of like World Class Championship Wrestling and Global and USWA, and so I started to watch that on top of WWE and WCW at the time, and all together I was like, I'm hooked. This. I want to be a part of this. I am that kid that wrote to the WWE and WCW at the time, going like, I think kids should wrestle too. I got 2 letters back from WCW, basically telling me like, hey, typically you have to be 18 to go train. Here's buy our book for a list of training places. I never bought the book, and I regret not buying the book because I'm curious like where it would have recommended me to go.
Right. That's crazy that they sent you a link to the book to go find places to train. But at the same time, pretty cool. At the same time, I gotta admit, I don't think I've ever been offered a book of places to go train. It was like, just Google it.
Wait. Well, in my brain too, I'm like, what a way to make money! like what a
right?
like semi scam. Now, there's a history of wrestling where like it used to be when you got to try out with the WWE or WCW, you had to pay for those. Like it wasn't like, hey, come down to the PC and let's see what you got, or hey, help us out on the road and be crew and it's free. No, you have to pay for the opportunity to even get the tryout. So I will say we've come pretty far.
Yeah, absolutely. Because now you can just pretty much walk down the street into a random barn or something and find a wrestling ring now.
That's fair. That's pretty fair.
All right, so let's talk about your very first opportunity to get into professional wrestling. Where did you train at, and what was your very first experience like?
So, I actually started working behind the scenes first before I started training. I was at that point, like, so because I wrote those letters, I knew, okay, there's such a thing as training, and you typically have to be 18. So I was at that point when I was graduating high school of like, what do I do? Am I going to go to college? Am I going to go get trained? Because I only have so much money and it's all on me. And so I was like, I'm going to go to college, but I'm going to start working backstage for companies and seeing if like, are these places I really want to be? And so started that. And so it wasn't until a couple years later, I ended up at a school called the Dominion, used to run in Maryland, no longer exists. Guy named Otto Stark ran it. And I will say, like, at the time, oh my gosh, this is great. I'm, doing training. This is awesome. This is wonderful. My very first match I had outside of there, I realized, man, I need to go other places and man, I need to experience more. And man, I need to like work with other people. So I continued to do seminars as much as I could just to learn. Cause I realized like I need some more training here. Yeah. So I would say early on, just getting that experience, with the Dominion and then, going on and doing seminars with people like, Mike Quackenbush and Trent Acid and Johnny Kashmere and Al Snow in the day and Tom Pritchard in the day. Like those are some really cool opportunities.
Nice. Mike Quackenbush is actually an alumni of the Best Damn Wrestling podcast. We actually had him on as a guest. So it's pretty cool to see a lot of different things come full circle, man. We talk about these moments all the time where we're all so connected in some kind of way. Whether we've met each other or we've met somebody who we know and mutual friends, but so it's really, really cool. Your first match. Let's talk about your very first match. Where was it? What was it like? how was your response to the crowd, or if there even was a crowd in your first match?
Very small crowd, like 25, 30 people. Ishmael Jr. He was in a mask. And I had known him before this. And we had trained together a little bit, but had never done anything with him during training in this gimmick. So it was just this big comedy gimmick. And I remember being like, this is really cool. And what was cooler was we had some mutual friends that I didn't know were going to show up. And so here they are in the crowd, and they're like, Phil! Like, so that helped right away to get a big pop on my very first match.
Nice. So now you are the president of professional wrestling. Let's talk about that. How did that come about?
So, gosh, now I'm trying to think how long ago it was. I was a heel down in North Carolina at a company called AIWF, and I was already doing this "I'm better than you" style gimmick. Like, I'm smarter than you, I'm better than you, and at the same time, I was thinking of like, I need to transition. I need to change up a little bit because I was having some physical issues. I was having nerve pain run down my arm. I knew something was wrong. And it was like, so I have to modify like what it is I'm doing. And I was still behind the scenes a lot for a couple companies. And so it sort of came up like, well, who is running things behind the scenes? And there was a joke at the time of the job I used to have, my full-time job, that it was like being the mayor of a small town. And so I was like, well, I don't want to be the mayor of wrestling. That doesn't sound good. There's already been kings of wrestling. I'm going to be the president of wrestling. And it was so funny because then like literally like a week or two after I had made this decision, like this is the gimmick I'm gonna run with because it's real. Somebody else said to me and a group of other people, like, you need to find what's real. You need to find what people connect to and what people understand and like what is representative of you that you can fulfill. And I kept thinking of not as a pastiche of like somebody who's in DC, not like the person in the White House, but more like if you had to think of like, well, who runs wrestling? Let's look at Triple H. Let's look, in the day like Eric Bischoff. Let's look at some other people who have been in wrestling. And so more like that, the ultimate authority figure. And like right away, I became like the authority figure of like 5 or 6 promotions. And it has continued. And so that's been a big part now of my wrestling life. And now I'm 2 surgeries later because I had neck surgery and I had knee surgery. So it's like, oh, this is really good that I have the opportunity to rely on doing other things that are not physical at times when I couldn't be physical.
And with that, a lot of people kind of rely on you in professional wrestling and not even know it. You do the what's the wrestling calendar, the indie wrestling calendar that you put out every week of what's going on in different areas where people can go and find bookings or talent can go, fans can go find shows to go to. Promoters can know who's out there and what's what. And needless to say, the higher ups could be watching a lot of these different this indie calendar as well to see who's out there and who's doing what and how often. Talk about the reason why you started doing the indie wrestling calendar.
So initially I started it because so promoters, like literally the word promoter means one who promotes. And the worst thing that promoters are bad at is promoting, like actually the marketing of wrestling. And so I was sitting there and I was like, well, I could just, there can't be that many events out there. And so I just started to pull together a list. And then at one point I had stopped and randomly a conversation I had with, of all friggin' people, Brett Lauderdale, who is now the promoter of GCW, back when he was just a fan in the front row of PW and CZW shows, made a comment of, there's no wrestling anymore. Nobody watches, or there's no shows to go to. I was like, are you kidding me? So I started putting it together again. And so it's definitely built up over time. I keep a tracking of something like 1,200 companies that I sort of cycle through on top of how I search online to get stuff onto the calendar. Anytime I have like a downtime in front of a computer, I pull up a Google sheet and I'm filling it in to put in information about events.
And that right there is amazing, and it is a much needed thing for independent wrestling and all the independent wrestlers. So for all you guys that are watching right now, because everyone watches the Best in Wrestling podcast, and everybody is listening on Radioland, make sure that you subscribe to Phil Stamper's wrestling calendar, and go ahead and give them the website to be able to do that.
So it's at wrestlereality.substack.com. I'm sure if you look, well, then again, I was going to say, if you look me up and look up Indie Wrestling Calendar, you're probably going to get every old date that's ever populated ever, plus every other site that's done it. So I created the Substack account where I know I can put it up there once a week. So wrestlereality.substack.com.
Nice. And let's talk about Substack, the app, because I actually downloaded it and it's pretty cool. So how did you get involved with Substack, and tell the viewers like what that is?
So Substack itself is like a blog posting website. It's beyond a blog, because it used to be like way back in the day, a website called Blogspot where people could sort of put up their own blogs. It's sort of like an advanced version of that. And now a lot of it is media and press, individuals who are like maybe freelance or have their sites and just needed a place to put written content are posting there. And I was like, well, this is a place that can do it for free, plus can keep a subscription list. So people who want to sign up and get this in their inbox every week, as opposed to having to remember this wrestlereality.substack.com every week, they can get it right in their email inbox. So that way, like it was completely for free. So like I don't have to worry about a cost of maintaining like a constant contact list. And I've managed those for other people, and I would see like, oh, look at all the spam that's signing up for this list, and I don't have to deal with that with Substack. So it's made it so tremendously easier to post. And I'm on my own schedule. I basically try to post up every Wednesday evening, and if something happens where I can't by a Wednesday evening, then I do it on Thursday morning. So I'm not under like anybody's particular deadline to do it. I posted on a Wednesday because one, AEW's on, and there's fans who are starting to like after the dip of, I mean, I know NXT's on Tuesday, but not as many people are watching that right now. So then you hit up a day when a lot of people are online and watching and looking for wrestling content to feed into the weekend. I found when I was doing it on Mondays, I was always finding more events that were being announced for that weekend. So I was like, well, now I wait until Wednesday to try to capture just a little bit more. I've also realized that job will never be done. It is. There are always going to be more events that are going to be added to it. I will always miss events unintentionally, just because I didn't see them.
Right.
Like, and to share with everybody who's watching, like, you contacted me like, hey, how can I get my my event for WrestleMania week posted? I'm like, exactly what you did. You told me about it. And so, because I mainly put everything on there by what I find. Very few people are actually sending me stuff. And when they do, then I'm like, okay, I'll add it, because right there it's front of mind. I can see it. Otherwise, it relies on me to entirely view it. And even when, I mean, I used to tell wrestlers to do this if they were looking for events. Go to Facebook, type the word wrestling, click on events, and you can sort by dates of like this week, next week. That'll help. But Facebook and however it powers its search, even if I do that, it still doesn't pull up every wrestling event that weekend. So something is happening where like it's skipping a couple of things. And if like, let's say, I don't want to pick on anybody, but I'll pick on the big one. Ring of Honor. In the name Ring of Honor, it says nothing wrestling. So if Ring of Honor had a wrestling event page and Ring of Honor event in Philadelphia, and I typed wrestling in, nothing's coming up. So sometimes you have to figure out like, okay, let me search other things. Let me search more. So I started then to keep a list of promotions too, to like help me. So like after I do my random search, I then have like an alphabetical by state, province, and country search that I'll get to as much as I can. That takes me a few weeks to get through at a time.
No, I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot. But I must say thank you. Like that is very, very helpful for guys like myself, or any independent wrestlers that are trying to be able to get their names out there and find out who's doing what, who's who, where. maybe opportunities somewhere, maybe seminars somewhere. Have you ever had the opportunity with some of the big leagues like WWE, AEW, Ring of Honor, anything like that?
I've been an extra for WWE. Have not yet done anything with AEW other than because I also own the historic footage for Heartland Wrestling Association. So one time I've been talked to by them just so they could play the footage. And then Impact I've done some extra work for as well. And so I want something on camera at AEW. I got to figure out how to like, whose door do I need to knock on better to like, hey guys, can I just pop? Let me walk in the background. I could be a random guy in the hallway that you throw into a table. I'm okay with that.
Exactly. Well, listen, when we get offline, I'll definitely give you the contact information for who you need to reach out to. Man, but okay, so how long have you been in wrestling altogether, including like from the very first start?
It's been 30 years.
Hey, listen, you don't even look like you've been doing it. You don't even look like you're 30 years old. So very, yeah. Like kudos to you, bro, because you don't even look 30 years old. So, man, 30 years.
It throws everybody off because they're like, wait a minute. Then if you started when you're 18, I was like, I didn't say that because I graduated high school early. So and like all the dates start like pointing at each other. So
right. Okay. How does your family feel about you with the professional wrestling?
It's interesting. I mean, my dad had seen video of me maybe a couple years in. So like he had seen like of my first few matches he had seen. My mom, it was a lot later, and my dad didn't come to a physical event actually up until maybe about 10-ish years ago. And it was sort of like one of my last matches before I had neck surgery, and that was like the big whopper of change. And so my immediate family didn't really come. They were like, you do your thing. We don't want to get you to get hurt, but you do your thing. Extended family are the one who seem to get a little bit more excited. And now like when I have a lot of family out in Ohio and Indiana, and when I'm out there for like Wrestling Revolver, I have a few that come out now for Revolver because they've gotten hooked on like, this is wrestling. Like, oh, we're so used to seeing a mainstream product. We didn't think this was going to be this exciting or this energetic or this athletic, and they get hooked. And so I have a few family members that are regular attendees of Wrestling Revolver, which is really cool.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. I mean, the biggest thing that we always say, man, is that what keeps us going is the support of our family, because it's our outlet. And a lot of people don't realize it's an outlet for us. Did you do any sports in high school, or any different sports besides professional wrestling?
Did amateur wrestling, judo. It was funny because I kind of went in a weird path compared to what some other people do. I was already in professional wrestling when I found Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so I did that a little bit later. I was part of an intramural club team that also competed against other schools when I was in college. But that was all amateur wrestling. So yeah, that was all I did in high school. I was in band. I was in theater. I was that geek, and that's totally good because I loved it. I mean, and it adds so much more to what you can offer in professional wrestling too. And I see like now, like how it's all pulled from me, everything. Like all life experiences do. You pull in from where you work and where you live and how you grew up and your family and like all your different job experiences, whether it's wrestling or an office job, and how it all comes together. And like I see now how much wrestling has helped me be a better speaker, which has helped me in my office job, and how it all just feeds together, and how I'm able to jump up in my office job and like, oh, I know how to do this production thing that I'm not hired for because of my wrestling experience.
That's awesome. What about the aspect of the theater? I tell a lot of people, a lot of professional wrestlers should take acting classes because it helps them with their character. It helps them be able to perform a lot better. The biggest issue with even actors is that they get into a character and they act instead of just being. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't act like the individual, be the individual. So how did that transition help you, or that aspect of your lifestyle in terms of theater help you in professional wrestling, especially with the president of the independent wrestling?
So with theater specifically, you learn how to work with a crowd. You start feeling that energy that a crowd gives you. You learn like the beats of pacing. You learn how to pause when a crowd is responding. You learn how to project your voice. Not every theater is mic'd and have headsets and all that cool stuff. So like you're working your own voice as best as you can to get out to a crowd of people. And so it's funny now when I go to my old high school and I've seen a couple plays from them, and it's like they all have headsets and lapel mics and like floor mics. I'm like, we did not have that. And so it's like, and now in wrestling, like I don't think other than when like there's been really weird power outage things, like I've never had to go without a mic to cut a promo to a crowd now. But still, it gave me the understanding of like how I'm making eye contact or the appearance of eye contact, how I'm putting over what I'm doing. A lot of repetition. And so, in wrestling, it's sort of like it pulls from both the theater world and like doing like film acting. Like you have to learn how to work with that crowd, but how to best deliver what you're doing. So there's a lot of time I spent like early Phil, like I'm going to look in a mirror and deliver lines in a play. And, do I believe what I'm saying? I mean, now of course I can record myself and then like, does this make sense? And can I see it? And so even now, like I tell people when I help them with their promos, I'm like, watch it back. Like there are going to be some production people who hate that, who like are going to be like, oh, do we really need to? Like, yes, if you didn't feel it, especially, and you want to make sure it's really representative of you, because it is at the end of the day, it's the representation of you to that promoter and to the crowd. Then yes, look at it back. Make sure it's how you wanted it to be delivered. Did you physically look like you were doing it? I had the great opportunity last weekend to spend 3 days with Teddy Long and at MCW, and just sitting near him and soaking up knowledge was friggin' amazing. And on the first day, we were in the back and he cut a promo, and he's sitting there and he watched somebody else do a promo, and he gave gave feedback to them, and he looks at me and he's like, do you think they'll let me cut my promo again? I didn't like it. I was like, absolutely. And he did it. And I was like, the first take wasn't bad, but when he did it the second time, I'm like, I see. I know I know. I see what now the end product and how it was different than the first one you did and why now it's better. Like he knew it and could see it. And so his ability to articulate that was tremendous. And quick plug for Teddy Long. My God, the amount of knowledge and wisdom, like it's not just, there's something to wisdom that's more than just knowledge, like being able to apply it and being able to talk to other people about it is so good. And the fact that you have somebody as experienced as Teddy Long, who was willing to watch matches and give people feedback, like everybody who got that feedback, like took it to heart. Like they were like, Teddy Long wants to talk to me about what was good and what was bad. Like, yes.
Right. No, that's amazing, man. I mean, and that's one of the biggest things that I think a lot of locker rooms need. All locker rooms need. We all need someone that's going to sit there, reputable, that's going to sit there and watch the matches and say, hey, I think you should do this better. Hey, I think you should do this differently. I like this. Maybe tweak this. You know what I'm saying? Even down to promos. We've had a lot of guests come on here. I'm like, all right, we're gonna do this little segment. And they're like, I don't know. I'm not really good with promos. I'm like, how are you not? I think because a lot of the talent, they get so used to, hey, give me a script. Let me read what you write for me. And it's like, well, what if you don't have time? What if you just walking through the curtain and boom, there's a camera in your face and like, hey, cut a promo about your match. What are you going to say? Especially if you're tired. What can you say when you're tired?
Right.
What can you say if you've been hit in the head with a chair? or took a low blow, or something to that effect. Like, what can you say after that aspect? One memory I do have of you is that AIWF deal with the steel, money in the piggy bank. Let's talk about that for a second, because that was like, and I'm gonna age both of us. That's like a century ago.
Right. It feels like forever.
It was like forever. But talk about deal with the steel and the money in the piggy bank. And I think the thing was it was a shot at Vince McMahon when the first came about. It was like money in the piggy bank. This one's at you, Vince. So let's talk about that for real quick.
So kind of to set it up a little bit. So AIWF, to give it some credit, was like the first place that really let me run with promos. Like, I remember my first time before even going down, I was like, do you mind if I cut a promo? Anything you want me to hit up in particular? Do you mind? And they were like, no, do what you want. I was like, cool. And I did it. And they were like, this is great. And so like, I got to talk a lot, even to the point of, I'm trying to remember if this was before or after the deal with the steel, but Rick Diesel is the promoter. And it was about to be bell time. In my brain, I was like, we should be starting sometime soon. And I just happened to walk by the curtain, which is a little bit different. Like, we had a locker room, there's a hallway, and then like our curtain area. And at this time, they did this really weird extended like walkway. Like the curtain was in the corner and you had to like walk to like the center of the building with a barricade and then come straight out. Yeah. And so I just happened to be near the curtain, and Rick goes, "Hey, Phil, I need you to go out there and cut me a promo." I'm like, oh, okay, when? Right now. I'm like, oh, okay. About anything in particular? And he goes, no, the main event's not here yet. I just need you to go kill time. I'm like, how much? 10 to 12 minutes? Okay. And so he's like, and he plays my music, and I'm like, okay. So I start walking to the ring. I see a broom and I grab it. I see one of the trainees who was a trainee at the time. He's not a trainee anymore, Jacob. And I'm like, hey, just pay attention. And he like looks at me like, what? And I walk to the ring, and I just start cut. And fortunately, I was a bad guy. I find it a little easier to cut some promos when I'm a bad guy. And just start, going after the crowd and how like this place isn't ready for me. The ring isn't even ready for me. And I demand that somebody come into the ring and clean the ring for me. And Jacob comes in, and I just start to belittle Jacob. And I wasn't even like going that hard on him. Like, I was just more like, you missed a spot. You're not doing your job. You don't listen. You're this. He gets so mad, like really mad. Yes. And takes the broom and shoves it in my chest and storms out of the ring. And in my brain, I'm like, and finished. I did a couple more minutes, and then I left, and Rick was like, that's exactly what I needed. Thank you, Phil. And Jacob's like, I got to him in the back, and he's like, I am an idiot. I didn't realize what you were doing until I walked out of the ring. And I was like, no, but it was real. You really got mad, and the crowd knew you really got mad. And like, that's the response you needed to give. And like, that was great. And so like all of that sort of helped build into going into this match called Deal with the whole show is Deal with the Steel. Every match is a steel cage match, but every match is a different kind of steel cage match. And in this particular one, because the main event was a War Games match. So in this one, it was a 2-ring steel cage, money in the piggy bank ladder match. So this pink pig pinata is hung over the ring, and it's 7 of us. And so I'd never been a part of it. I think that was actually my first time inside of actually working a match in a steel cage. And here I am. I think
for all of us that was involved, it was our first time.
I think so.
Because it was me, you, James Anthony. I want to say Jacob was in there. Maybe
that was a differort one because Jacob was still a trainee. Yeah.
Okay, but I know you and I, James Anthony,
Court Montgomery,
Ty Tyson.
Or was that the second one? So I did 2 because the first one I won, with a
I remember the
broken
one you won.
ladder. Like that was a whole other thing. Like there was one single ladder we had access to, and it got broke. And I remember having to make the referee hold, like he had to literally hold the ladder because the ladder could not stand anymore.
Yes.
Like just all over the. It was crazy but fun. And won the Pink Pig, and like for almost a year, I like everywhere I went, I took a promo with this damn pig.
Yes.
And like I stood in front of the Washington Monument. I was like, I was waiting to get arrested by some like Capitol Police or something. Anywhere I went, with this pig. I had the pig drive the car while I was asleep, or like crazy things. And then like the second year, it was going into it cocky because, I won this already. I got this. And I think Justin Flash won that year after he gave me a coast to coast with a chair. Which I think my teeth are still vibrating from. Because the next match, they were like, hey, Phil, can you do commentary? And I'm sitting there like, okay.
Man.
And then the third year, I was in the War Games match for Deal with the Steel, and that had Jacob in it, and Ty, because that was when Ty got really busted open badly.
Yes.
So 3 times in a cage match, all 3 times at AIWF.
Absolutely. Well, quick segue. We do this every show, and this is a perfect timing. We have this thing where I end up going promos against our guests. So, Phil, do you feel up to indulging me in a promo battle?
Absolutely. Let's go.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourselves because we're going to war. All right, Mr. President, you're up first.
Well, I will say that was a beautiful segue. Loved the video package. I seem to like the video package more than I like seeing you fight. I know you say you like to fight, but why do I need to like it? I mean, I've been in the ring with you before, and I wonder what you can bring next.
That's cute. You've been in the ring with me before. I think you're highly mistaken and you're living in the past because you have not been in the ring with this version of me. You see, the person that you was in the ring with was a character. It was a figment of my imagination that I portrayed for all the audience to feel something about. This is a whole different person. This is Roosevelt. This is real life. This is me 100%. This is a man who likes to fight. So, Mr. President, I'm sorry to say, but there's no Secret Service, there's no army, there's no military that's going to be able to protect you the moment you stand in the ring with a man who likes to fight.
Are we doing rebuttals? Are we doing... Are we keeping going on?
If you feel up to it, go for
it. Okay. So you're saying what you brought before wasn't your best, and now the best is yet to come. Well, guess what? I'm the best that I have ever been, and on that, you can trust in Phil.
And that's kind of disappointing. Because years ago, I used to trust in Phil. I used to trust and believe that Phil had everything that was needed to be the it factor. Now, it just seems like you used to be it factor. You just don't have it anymore. And you're doing just exactly what you should be doing. You're sitting behind your desk. You're being the president of professional wrestling, and you're allowing others to do the job that one man should be able to do. maybe it's time someone takes you off that pedestal and out of that Oval Office and become the new president. And who better than Roosevelt? How did I do? Did I do okay?
That was all right. The first one, you had some ums.
Yeah, little ums. Well, boss man, yo, listen, this has been an amazing, and very honorable interview. I truly appreciate you being on today. Go ahead and drop your social media and let people know where they can find you at.
You can follow me pretty much anywhere there's social media on Trust in Phil. That's on X, that's on Facebook, that's on Instagram, that's on TikTok, that's on Snapchat, that's on YouTube. You can follow me at Trust in Phil.
Awesome. And then drop the website again where they can go and get everything that is professional wrestling on the indie calendar.
That is wrestlereality.substack.com.
Awesome. All right. And we do this every segment, every show where we drop a word of motivation, a little something that helps the people kind of stay motivated and keep going, a little bit of inspiration. So, Phil, what is your final word for the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast?
You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but you have to work to create the tomorrow you want.
I like that.
That's pretty good. That was off the cuff. I was like, what am I going to say?
I'm going to drop my final word with this. Trust is earned. And that's just it. Trust is earned. And that's just it. The moment that you lose the trust in something and someone, it's hard to get it back. And it's hard to allow yourself to trust someone else when you've been burned or hurt or misled so many different times. So don't feel as though you are deserving someone's trust, because at the end of the day, trust is earned. And that's it. That is my final word for the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast. Mr. Phil, thank you so much for being on the show. Are you going to be in Vegas during Mania Week?
Right now, it's not looking like it. I had only gotten one booking, and it was a little too much to go out for just the one event. So right now, unless something changes, unless good fortune comes to rain down, it does not look like I'm going to come to Vegas for that weekend.
Okay. Well, hopefully we will have you down in Mania in August. We will talk and see how things lined up and see if we can get you out there. We definitely want to have you on the show a lot more. So if any time you want to come on, drop some knowledge, share something, share a book if you end up writing it. Hey, write that book of independent wrestling schools all around the country. So that way anybody say, hey, can I come wrestle with you? No, but you can go to this place. You can buy my book and find out where the schools are.
I'm actually writing a wrestling creepypasta book, like creepy stories, paranormal stuff, but it has to do all with the world of wrestling. So I've been working on that off and on for about a year.
Nice. Okay, so when that is published and it drops, come on back on the show, let people know where they can buy it, and we'll definitely support you in every which way.
Sounds good. I appreciate it.
All right. This is the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast. We're here every Wednesday. Tonight was a special night because, schedules and everything else. Make sure you guys tune in every single Wednesday, or, just stay tuned to the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast Facebook page, where we would drop our events, our scheduled interviews, our open discussions, where we're going to be at next. Mall Mania of Las Vegas is happening April 18th in Las Vegas at Neonopolis on Fremont Street. It is not going to be a wrestling event. It's going to be a wrestling experience. So do not miss out on this experience that we're going to put on for you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, Phil Stemmer. Phil, I'm going to need you to help me close the show. So I'm going to say the next best, and I want you to say damn. And I want you to say the most strongest Ron Simmons type of damn that you can pull out of your soul. You with me?
I'm with you.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we will see you next time on the next Best
Damn.
Ooh, that sounds like a president's type of damn. Yeah, that's forceful. meaningful, the power. Yes, the best damn wrestling podcast. We bid you guys adieu.